the final. 69. Offense. He was giving them the business. Right back there. Hold on.
This is the 5 Arms and a Lucky Finn podcast.
Welcome to the 5 Arms and a Lucky Finn podcast. I'm your host, Brendan McCormick, with my co-host, David Sawa. He is for the people. The people are for him. And David, UConn had to do it their own way, send themselves into the Final Four with a buzzer beater from Mullins. So what a way to, kick off the Final Four that way and finalize it. What a shot.
Insane, man.
Dude.
I actually, on that, I want to go back to something. We talked about it after the first weekend was over.
Yeah.
John Fanta said this was going to be an all-time tournament. And we said after the first weekend, not an all-time tournament. But then in that Sweet 16 and Elite 8, three of the four Elite 8 games weren't great. But we had the Purdue buzzer beater over Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what else was there? The Iowa-Nebraska game was right down to the wire. We had the UConn shot. Duke St. John's was a great game.
Great game.
I think it's picking up some steam, and I think we got some damn good Final Four matchups that could be great games too.
I'm with you.
Maybe not all-time tournament thus far, but there have been some all-time moments, I think, including I think the Mullins shot is one of the greatest shots of all time in tournament history.
I mean, it's got to be up there, man. It's
especially because of all the chaos surrounding it, and if Boozer just doesn't dribble and stands there, it's fine. Over. They foul him, and it's over.
I don't understand the panic.
Well, I mean, he had two guys up, in the front court, where if the ball gets over the defender, it's 100% game over. You don't have to make a free throw, nothing. But I agree with you. He's a freshman, but you got to know, just stand there. Just get fouled and have some confidence in yourself to make the free throws.
You have to have game awareness.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because they could not have gotten a backcourt, 10-second violation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There was 10 seconds on the clock. Nothing. If you just hold on to the ball, nothing bad can happen.
Is Shire was basically saying that's on me. They had a timeout too, David.
They had a timeout. There was also a clip going viral of him in film with the team talking or showing a clip from an NBA game where there was 4 seconds left and the player gets the ball and just throws it straight up into the air to kill the clock. He could have done that. He could have just thrown it straight up into the air and it would have killed the clock.
Yeah. That's what
it's like he had coached it. Is he really going to call a timeout? Because honestly, the play up until he takes a dribble and makes the pass was fine. They got it from the inbounder to the corner. The corner guy passes it right back to the inbounder. He gets it up to Caden Boozer, and then he just kind of.
I think you call a timeout there, though. You have to. You have to calm everyone down.
Why?
You have to realize in the situation
everybody
what is
was calm,
at stake.
and they were coming out of a timeout. Everybody was so calm.
I just think you have to take another timeout there and just. Hey, we're good. You can literally hold the ball. Be strong with it. You're gonna get fouled. Do not turn the ball over.
I think calling a timeout in most situations would have actually been worse. It would have allowed the defense to set up and guard the inbound pass, and then if you have no timeouts left, you get a 5-second call. Then the offense can set themselves up. I think the chaos of it was actually playing in Duke's favor. They just had the two things that couldn't happen. He couldn't turn the ball over like that. If he had just thrown it out of bounds and make them go 94 feet, it's better. The way he turned it over with the live ball turnover, and then, Mullins hit a 40-footer, dude. Like, what do you do?
Didn't we learn from the Kyle Guy situation with Texas Tech? Don't let an Indiana guy shoot the three. twice. Kyle Guy did that twice in the NCAA tournament. The other time
Yeah.
against Auburn in the corner.
Yeah, the foul. It wasn't a
Yep.
foul.
That
Yeah.
wasn't a foul? You
No,
don't
wasn't
think
a
that
foul.
was a foul?
It wasn't a foul. No chance it was a foul. No.
David, that's a foul.
In what world was that a foul?
In what world? How is that not a foul?
He didn't.
He
didn't
literally
foul him.
is shooting the shot.
He didn't
The
foul
guy
him.
is all over him.
He didn't touch him.
Oh, David.
That it wasn't a foul, dude.
Go watch that clip. Go watch that clip.
I'll
Listen.
watch the clip right now. You start talking about whatever you want. I'll rewatch the clip right now.
Obviously, there's a lot of coaching changes, listeners and viewers, and also David knows, but a lot of high major changes. Bobby Hurley is out at Arizona State. Randy Bennett is in, leaves St. Mary's after a very long time of being there, over 25 years. David, what's your first impressions of that move? How did they get Bennett to finally make the decision to come over to a Power 5?
I think it was an easy decision for him.
I think so too.
You have Gonzaga leaving the WCC, which essentially kills the WCC.
I agree.
Obviously, St. Mary's could still run the WCC, but you're never going to get those 2 guaranteed quad 1 games every year against Gonzaga. Win or lose, it's gonna up your strength of schedule. So I think it was a pretty easy move for him to make. You know,
the Big 12 just in coaches, David, is absolutely stacked. It's stacked from like your bottom teams to your very good teams. They're just stacked.
Are they in the bottom?
Randy Bennett's one of the bottom coaches.
Who we got at Oklahoma State?
Honestly, don't know.
Same, I don't either.
But if Randy Bennett's down there, they got to be halfway decent. Is what I'm saying.
Is Tad Boyle still at Colorado?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, bottom of the league. I don't think we should be giving him that much credit. Steve Lutz is the guy at Oklahoma State. Everybody knows about Steve Lutz, of course.
Do they?
No.
Oh man.
But yeah, great hire.
Great hire. Another one, Butler. Thad Matta's out. Thad Matta is out, hanging it up. David decides to move on. Ronald Norrid is in. So that's
Ronald Norrid was the point guard on those Final Four teams. So you like to see them.
Did not know that.
Giving it to an alum.
Yeah,
he's been a coach, I think, an assistant in the G League and maybe even the NBA since his playing days ended. We'll see if it works. I don't think Butler has enough money to compete at the Power 5 level in the Big East.
Yeah.
But maybe bringing in a guy who was there for the success, maybe it'll work out.
Yeah, I'm with you. Hopefully it does. The biggest news in the blockbuster coaching carousel of this year's coaching carousel, all carousel, Will Wade leaves NC State, David. Maybe not on the best of terms, but decides to go back to boot up country with the LSU Tigers. Now our LSU family and Jason, a.k.a. Lucky Finn, and Kenny Hilliard, our graphics, social media guru, they're pretty excited for him. Now, I think this will be okay. This is an okay hire, in my opinion. I don't think it's a great hire. This is why. I'm gonna go off the rails on this one. But Will Wade, with a lot of NIL money, didn't even do that great at NC State, David. And had a pretty healthy roster. That front 5. He didn't really have a bench. I'll give that to him.
I think we could argue how good that starting 5 was too, though.
Solid. Could.
Like Darian Williams, obviously, stud. Other than that, it was kind of a lot of guys you're taking a flyer on. You're paying a lot of money because they came from big schools.
Yeah.
And you're hoping they work. And when you're putting your whole starting five together as transfers,
Yeah.
we saw this happen with Indiana this year. It just
Right.
doesn't work. You need some pieces that you can build your program around. And it's like he only brought one guy from McNeese, I think. So it's not like he brought over 3 or 4 guys from McNeese and then supplemented the roster with a couple other pieces,
Right.
which I think is probably why it didn't work as well. But yeah, I mean, you can continue on your point if you want on why you don't think this is good hire.
You know, he said we could make history by winning a national championship or getting fired twice from the same school. And I legit think he has a chance of getting fired twice. Because what if this reunion after year 2, they go sub 500 in the SEC? That's not going to be good enough for them with what he's saying, what he wants to bring. I just think he's all talk at times.
You know what's funny is he is the Lane Kiffin of college basketball. And now they got 2 of them. How is that athletics department going to handle 2 of them? Plus Kim Mulkey.
Dude, there's been some things around Twitter. I'm sure you've seen it of nicknames
Yeah.
for them, and I'm not going to restate it on our podcast.
Oh,
but,
the one is all time nickname.
It's almost laughable. Like they're all laughable at this moment. Like all 3 of them. Like they're great coaches. Don't get me wrong, but they're
Great coaches.
personalities.
Just the personalities. You got a lot of big personalities in that athletic department.
I think Wade is a great recruiter. I think as a coach, I think he really does struggle implementing what he wants. Yes, David.
Is he a good
Wade.
recruiter or was he cheating?
That's yet to be determined, I think. But I think if you can get Darian Williams from Lubbock, Texas, over to Raleigh, North Carolina.
That was all money.
I understand it's money, but you still got to get the kid there.
Sure, but is LSU going to have the $3 million to pay a guy like that because they're spending so much money on their football team?
I believe he has a $10 million roster.
That's honestly not that much for college basketball.
Well, let me look it up real quick.
What was Indiana this year? We were at like 21, which is ridiculous.
Well,
Kentucky was at 27.
We had to pay some people off.
We didn't pay anybody off. I just think 10 million. I mean, 10 million is great, sure. But also, I mean, the landscape's still changing a lot too. I don't see how a school can guarantee 10 million.
10 to 12 million. That's what he's expected to get each year.
Yeah, I mean, we'll
I
see.
wasn't far off, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm not going to be negative around it. I just don't know if it's the home run hire like every LSU fan is predicting here. That's all I'm saying.
Here's what I'll give them. It is a significant upgrade from McMahon.
Oh, yeah. McMahon,
because he just was not the guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to be the guy.
No.
So great. It's an upgrade. But
I do love how he was
not a basketball school, so I'm not expecting them to like hire the next great coach.
I do love how he was
can bring them
backup,
some stability. Then what was that?
So I do love how McMahon was the backup. Like, if we can't get Will Wade,
we'll just keep with this guy. Yeah, tough break for him.
Tough break, but yeah, I'm with you. He wasn't the answer long term, but I mean, we'll see. It's got he's a household name, a brand name, and I think that's what LSU fans need right now.
I have a question for you.
Basketball. Yeah,
what is a better job, NC State or LSU? Because I actually think it's a really, really good question. It's a good debate topic.
It is a good debate topic. I mean, do you always want to be in the shadow of football? Is the argument back? Or do you want to be the guy?
Of course. North Carolina is the second best basketball state in the country.
That's what I was getting at. I think you have plenty of talent around you, and I'm pretty sure the AD and the NIL was getting pushed towards you.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first year they were going to spend. This year, I'm pretty sure they were going to spend. You get the right guys, the guys that you want, and then you develop some of the people that you've recruited. I think NC State's a better job, in my opinion.
I think LSU's the better job.
Okay.
but only because the ACC has been so weak in recent years,
Okay.
combined with the fact that the way college sports are going, there are two
Right.
main conferences, and it's the Big Ten and the SEC. And so, yes, NC State might be a top 5 program in the
For
ACC
all of sports?
right now. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Okay,
football and
okay.
basketball. Yeah,
Okay.
the sports that make money.
I mean, the Big 12 though, basketball wise, it's got they're
The Big
they're
12
up
will
there.
never be a major player in football and basketball because they just don't have the money.
Wow.
The TV.
Look
the
at
TV
Arizona right now.
No, dude, the TV deals speak for themselves. Arizona's got a rich basketball history. They're always going to be good at basketball. But the Big
I don't
Ten
know
and
if I
the
agree
SEC
with you on
have
that.
the Big Ten and the SEC have so much more money. There's a reason they're running all
College
of the
football.
meetings around the college
Yeah.
football playoff. There's a reason that Greg Sankey's at the forefront of trying to get the NCAA tournament expanded to 7-6 teams because he wants more of his teams in.
Yeah.
There's a reason that those two conferences are 16 and 18 teams. They're the two biggest conferences. They are
Okay.
going to run college sports moving forward. ACC teams like North Carolina, Florida State, Clemson, those teams, when they get out of their ACC deal in 2031, they are going to jump ship to one of those two conferences. Those are the two conferences to be in. And that's why I think LSU is just more stable as far as they're not leaving the SEC. They're going to be in the SEC. You know what to expect.
Yeah.
You know what your recruiting base looks like. You know you've got an athletic department that's committed to winning in every sport, which they've shown, down to like
Right.
baseball.
Yeah.
Gymnastics they're great at. It's just a great athletic school. Whereas NC State could be in flux in 5 years if the ACC breaks up, and you don't know what the future looks like. Not
That's
that NC
true.
State's going to be left on the side of the road the same way that Washington State and Oregon State were, because they got screwed. But NC State's not like a big dog in college sports.
Do we think the ACC and Big East will join back?
That'd be a massive conference. I mean,
It'd
I
be a
wouldn't
power
hate it.
move.
I wouldn't hate
I
it.
wouldn't hate it either, honestly.
If they cut like the bottom 5 Big East
Yeah,
teams
I
and the
know, that's
bottom
what I'm
5
saying.
ACC teams and combine their,
Yeah, that's what I want them to do.
I'd be okay with that. Get rid of
think that's a
DePaul.
good
I don't
plan.
need to see DePaul
Yeah.
play basketball anymore.
No, dude. They're bad every year.
Every year, no matter what.
Man. Jeez. They really are. They really are. Want to touch on some other coaching changes real quick. Akron, they hired Dustin Ford. John Gross left for Charleston, so he's in at Charleston as Mack left to go to South Florida. What do you think of Mr. Chris Mack going to South Florida? Because I feel like that was a great move for him and his coaching career.
Yeah, he's had kind of an up and down coaching career in general, just because he was at Xavier, which is, he was an alum of Xavier. Took him to a 1 seed in the tournament, and then he left for Louisville, and everything went to hell at Louisville.
It was bad.
And then he was out of coaching for a couple of years. He was on like the Field of 68 podcast.
Really?
Their network. Yeah, he was with them for a couple of years.
Interesting.
And then
Didn't
got back
know
into it at Charleston, and Charleston, they went 24-9 and then 21-11.
Yeah.
Great coach. I mean, I think he's proven it over the years. Louisville obviously
think
was
he
a
is,
train
too.
wreck, but
Yeah.
South Florida obviously committed to winning too. They've shown that over the past few years with Hodgson getting that big job at Providence. I think that'll be a good fit.
I was shocked that he left because South Florida is really pumping the money into their NIL for basketball and football. They're really pumping it.
Yeah, the only thing is Providence is a rabid fan base for basketball, and it's a Power 5 job,
Yeah.
Plus,
hope it works out.
Yeah, Hodgson's from New York, so it makes sense for him to
Oh.
want to get back to the Northeast.
Yeah. I mean, that does make sense. We talked about it a little bit before, David, but Ben Jacobson, after 20 years in Northern Iowa, finally leaves. He is out, and Kyle Green is in. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care who Northern Iowa hired. They are going to they're going to be irrelevant moving forward.
yeah, I think so.
And that was my main point when we talked about Northern Iowa and Ben Jacobson when they made the tournament, was when you got a guy that brings the culture
Yeah.
and is at your school for that long, you know what to expect. You know, they were at a high level pretty much every year he was there, whether they won the conference or not. And now he's out because he's taking a bigger job, and good for him. You know,
Great for him.
Utah State
Yep.
has seemed to be a job that's going to get you a much better job within a couple of years recently.
Yeah.
You know, you had Ryan Odom, who's now at Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Sprinkles now at Washington. Jared
Danny
Calhoun's
Sprinkles,
now
baby.
at Cincinnati. So
Yeah.
all these guys were getting better jobs. Ben Jacobson stuck it out at Northern
Yeah.
Iowa. Now he's at Utah State. I hope he wins there and gets a
Yeah.
big job because he's still pretty young and he's been part of our lives since the Ali Faroukmanesh days. And
Yeah. It's pretty
I
wild.
think it's just
be
cool
honest.
to see him get an
Yeah.
opportunity like this.
No, I'm with you. Let's head over to our first matchup of the Final Four, David. What a college basketball season it has been, but we are down at the Final Four teams. Our first matchup, it is in Indianapolis, Indiana, right in your own backyard, David.
Yes, sir.
So I know the atmosphere is going to be popping. Indiana is such a basketball state, so awesome to be able to host it this year. Sad that we couldn't have any Indiana universities in the Final Four, but as long as it's not Purdue, we are happy. So
Yeah, I was about to say our
Um,
only opportunity there would have been Purdue.
yeah, so they can have their all-time assist banner, I guess, and no other championships. So, anyways, Illinois will be playing UConn, and it looks like that the Fighting Illini are 1.5 point favorites against the Huskies, David. I can't go against Hurley in this one at all. I think Hurley's NCAA record speaks for itself. And yes, the nail biter against Duke, you can say it all you want. Oh, this Illinois team. This Illinois team is finally going to crash and burn at some point. They've shown it throughout the season. I know they are blazing hot right now with Wagler and other people, and I know you're going to be on Illinois for a Big Ten team to finally win it because you're a Big Ten homie like that. But I'm riding with Hurley.
I hate Big Ten teams, just so we're aware. I would love to see the conference get a championship because it's been way too long.
Yeah.
But give
I
me
agree.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Brad Underwood, great coach. This
Yeah.
team, great team.
Yes.
They've got a
Great
lot of
team.
versatility, a lot of good shooting. They got the big guys
Yeah.
down low. I'm with you though. They have been playing a little bit out of their minds, just playing really
mean,
well, which they are
yeah.
a really good team. So you would expect them to play really well.
Right.
But their route to the Final Four also wasn't the hardest. They played a Penn team, then they played a VCU team who was coming off of a very emotional second half
I was going to say, okay,
comeback against North Carolina.
don't talk about my.
I'm not going to say VCU is a bad
Okay.
team, but
No.
VCU talent-wise, I mean, North Carolina
No,
should
yeah,
have
yeah,
beat
yeah.
them. Now, North Carolina was up 20. North Carolina should have won.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Then they played Houston in Houston, which you got to give them all the credit there. But
100%. That is
we
a
know
great
what
win.
Houston's one problem is and always has been is the ability
It
to
is.
put the ball in the basket.
At times, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
that night they couldn't put the ball in the basket.
Well, they couldn't play a lick of defense. They were getting blown up. Whatever.
I
left and right.
think they played some pretty good defense that night.
How much did the Illinois have?
65, 55.
Oh, never mind then. You're right.
Yeah, Illinois
I'll go
shot
back on that.
46% from
Hand up on that.
2 and 39% from 3. So they did make some threes. But I mean, yeah, Houston wasn't scoring the ball. And then they played
Yeah.
Iowa, a 9 seed, to get to the Final Four.
Yeah.
So the route hasn't been that crazy. UConn's has
Mhm.
obviously been much more difficult.
Right.
UConn has a coach who's been there very recently, back-to-back national champions. They've still got guys from that team, Caravan.
Yeah.
I trust Hurley in this spot over Underwood all day.
I just don't know how you can go against this team. Like, I understand like Illinois and everything that they're doing. After that win, oh man, Sorry, guys. Oh,
You good?
wow. I'm alive. Holy smokes. Sorry. I'm not editing that, but holy smokes, I almost died. Okay.
Wow.
Just choked. I'm like, I
On
have like a lot
what?
of nasal stuff going on, and allergies, and just woo. Anyways,
Jeez.
Terrace Reed on a mission right now. What I worry about the Huskies, David, is if it's a really close game and they just decide to foul Terrace Reed. He's 59% from the floor. Granted, the rest of them shoot really well from the free throw line. Caravan, Solo Ball, Mullins, all these other guys are 80% free throw shooters, but they're bigs, they struggle. So like, not gonna say it's gonna come down to that, but that is always something that I worry about with UConn is their free throw percentage. But I mean, the rest of their guards are able to shoot at a high clip, so it's not too concerning. But I do worry about that for the Huskies at times with Terrace Reed because he just can't make a free throw.
I will say these two teams already played once this year. UConn beat
Yeah.
Illinois 74-61 in MSG. Terrace
Oh.
Reed was barely a factor in that game. It was
Really?
really early in the season. He was I think he was injured at the time. He was
Okay.
definitely injured early in the season. He
Hmm.
played 15 minutes, had 2 points. So if you can get all
Yeah.
the guys around him to
Yeah, that's
contribute the same way they did then and get
Yeah.
him to be the guy he's been in this tournament, I like UConn a lot here.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Huskies. It's worrying me that we're agreeing on this, so it's a little
Definitely,
worrisome.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
Illinois is going to win.
Yeah,
We agreed
no,
that
probably.
Houston was going to beat them too.
True, we did. Michigan, our next matchup, Michigan Wolverines are playing the Arizona Wildcats. The Michigan Wolverines are 1.5 point favorite, David. Total sitting at 157.5. I think Lindeborg is going to have the game of his life, Mr. Yaxel. I think if Michigan is going to win this game, he has to command the ball and have an easy 30-10 type of game, maybe even 35-10. I just expect him to take over. This game, David, is really up in the air for me, though. This Arizona team, they've been on an absolute tear. They haven't lost since they dropped 2 in a row to Texas Tech, and I forget the other team. No,
Kansas, Big Monday.
that's right, on Big Monday. Ever since then, they've been rolling. At the beginning of January, you had asked me who my winner was, and I without a doubt said Michigan. So I have to roll with them because of that, and they're still the pick that I had on my bracket to win it all. So I'm with the Wolverines. But I think this game is going to be an all-timer in March Madness. I think this game is going to be a fantastic one, and I just see a late basket to win it for Michigan. So
yeah, I hope it's an all-timer because these are two all-time teams. Yeah, and I think we deserve an all-time game from these teams.
Yeah.
The one thing that's always scared me with Arizona is when they get down, they don't shoot threes as often as other teams. So are they able to, make up that ground? They showed against Purdue. They don't have to shoot threes. They could be down 7.5, and they're going to make up ground on you. So I'm not really that worried about that anymore. Obviously, Michigan has a bit more offensive firepower than Purdue, I would say.
Yeah.
I think this game comes down to guard play. And that's why I like Arizona a lot.
Okay.
Michigan's got good guards. They don't have NBA caliber guards, All-American caliber guards. They don't have their talent, their best talent's all in the front court. And so I like Jaden Bradley and Braden Burries to lead Arizona to victory here. And I think Lindeborg's going to have a good game. I think Kobe Pete's a pretty good guy to put on him on defense.
Right.
A big body, tough down low, going to grab defensive rebounds. Not to mention the other guys for Arizona. You got Toby Owaka off the bench.
Yeah.
You got Krivas down low, big boy.
I mean,
I like Zona. And I hate to
yeah.
say it because that's no Big
Yeah.
Ten teams in the championship for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it would. It really would. That would suck. But yeah, their guards are definitely their weaker point of this Michigan team. If you look at their forwards and their centers, Mara and Lindeborg and Johnson, they lead the team in almost every statistical category besides assist with Kadu.
Yeah,
So-
Elliot Cadeau is
Or Cadeau.
he's good. He can't shoot at all.
Yeah.
I guess he was better this year. He shot 37%. Not terrible. He also apparently had an allergic reaction to something today.
I saw that.
Did not travel with the team to
Yeah.
Indy.
That could affect.
So we don't know any details around that, but
Yeah.
even if he's 90% instead of 100, it could have an impact in a game
Yeah.
this big, in a game with
I
this high
agree.
stakes.
I agree. Man. No Big Ten teams in the championship. That'd be quite sad, David. I'd be very, very sad after the year the Big Ten has had. So
Yeah, and after having 6 of the 16 Sweet 16 teams.
jeez. Man, that'd be brutal. That would
It would,
be
but
an
honestly,
all-time brutal beat.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see UConn win because I want to see UConn go up against either Michigan or Arizona. I think that's a better championship game. What do you think about the people who are saying the Michigan-Arizona game is the de facto national championship game? The winner of that is like basically guaranteed to win the national championship. That's how people are talking right now.
If people are really saying that, they need to look up Dan Hurley.
Exactly. I could not agree more.
If you're really going to start saying that, oh yeah, say that to a Dan Hurley team. That's what they want.
Not to
That's what
mention
they
the
want.
fact that they just beat Duke. They just beat the number 1 overall seed. So if they can do that, they absolutely can beat these other two. Illinois, I kind of think that'd be a blowout if Illinois gets to the championship game.
David, he's getting up there for me in like the argument of the greatest coach of all time.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an argument to be made.
Like if he wins this year,
Although, yeah, but before the first,
no one
national
was
championship,
talking
it
about
wasn't
UConn
great.
though. No one was talking about
This
UConn
year?
this season that much. Not this much. Everyone was talking about Michigan and high powered was Florida was on a run, and then also everyone was talking about Duke and the Boozer brothers, and then you had Zona. Everyone was talking about Zona.
No.
Michigan. I mean,
No,
UConn
we're not
kinda
doing it. We can't do this. We cannot do this.
What I'm
UConn
saying,
was
though-
slated as the 4th number 1 seed all the way up until they lost that game to Marquette on like the last day of the season. They were going to
That's
be
what I
the
mean,
4th
though.
number 1
Everyone
seed.
was writing them off because of that loss, though. They lost to
Yeah.
Marquette. They're not worth anything.
I
They're not gonna
guess,
beat-
yeah.
They're not going to beat Duke.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote them off.
Yeah, hand up. Duke was a monster.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I hope they win because I don't think Illinois can compete. But
He just
We'll see.
brings that edge to his teams. Like, how would you not want to play hard for that guy?
yeah, no, I agree. He's the exact type of coach I would want.
Like, I would run through a brick wall.
Yeah.
For that man. I would be so locked in. And that's why you see, like, yeah, he doesn't get the best players. He gets great players, but he doesn't get the absolute best ones like Duke has. And he just beat Duke.
He did get the Indiana Mr. Basketball 5-star.
No, I know, like he does get great players, but not
No,
like
but yeah,
he
it's not
doesn't
just
have the
all
best
5 stars.
recruiting
I
class
agree.
every year.
I
Like,
agree.
he finds guys that fits his system. Now, if Indiana basketball could be a quarter of that, be moving in the right direction.
Hey, man, portal opens here soon. let's get moving.
Gotta get moving. Gotta get moving. We gotta get some people, man. We gotta get some dogs in there. We gotta get some people who want to play.
Brent Sisley's
basketball.
back.
That was a big one. That was a start.
Yeah.
He's the type of guys we want. So
Hopefully Dorn's back too, and then build from there.
scrap the rest. I said it.
Well, there is no other guys. So, well, the itches.
Great. Huh?
The itches. The European guys we have on our bench. The itches.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was like, what are
Ristich
you-
and
Yeah.
I don't even know the other guy's name.
Yeah. I mean, they played 3 minutes the whole season. So.
Yeah. Hey, we did lose Jason
Yeah.
Drake today. That was a big loss, Jason Drake. Man.
Oh,
that guy was
huge.
a monster in the 0
Yeah.
minutes he played.
Yeah. Great minutes for us. Yeah. Great minutes for Indiana basketball. Great minutes that he provided and the value he brought to that program.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're back next year, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, there's always next year. We're starting to be the Dallas Cowboys.
Next
of
year, we're
college
going to be at the
basketball.
Final Four in. Where's it at next year?
I don't know, Phoenix. It's always in some weird city.
Detroit.
Oh, right in your backyard still. Huh.
Still, yeah. Then Vegas, then back in Indy.
Oh, Vegas is an all timer. That's an all timer. That's in my backyard.
Yeah, it is.
Man, shoot. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys listening, tuning in, watching. Give us a 5-star review on Spotify. It would mean the world to us. We always appreciate your support. Go to YouTube, 5 Arms and Lucky Fin, subscribe. And also go to Instagram and X, 5LF Podcasts. Give us a follow. Engage with us on our comments of our reels. We love to hear from you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.